And we've got the Wooten home team with 20. Who's going to outbid Wooten's? Courtesy of Jen Dixon. Got a little 50-50 raffle going on. Have fun. Oh, Deanna's headed up. Is Deanna going to outdo the... Oh, we got Beth and Pete. How many are Beth and Pete going for? Oh, Deanna's got 25. What? You may also Venmo if you are on Zoom. You may Venmo. So just comment in the comments on Zoom if you would like to participate in the 50-50 drawing. So far, we've got 25 tickets bought in one lump sum. Gladwell did 21 tickets. Who are my Zoomies that would like to participate? 50-50 raffle. You can Venmo. We'll get you that information shortly. Having a lot of fun here this morning. 50-50 raffle going on. We've got a record 25 tickets bought at this point by Deanna Dick. Anybody want to outdo Deanna? If you're on Zoom, feel free to comment in the sections how many you want, and we will get you Venmo information. All to a good cause. We can. Yes, ma'am. Let me get away. Hot mic. Hot mic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as there's one past the hour, we would like to get started. How much are your tickets, Darshan? $1. $1. Our record set so far, 25 tickets. Miss Deanna Dick, thank you so much for participating in our 50-50 raffle. Gladwell's, Mark Sweat, Wooten's, Jen Dixon. Thank you all so much for participating. If you'd like to participate, you can Venmo. If you're on Zoom, just go ahead and pop how many tickets you want in the comments. We'll get you Venmo information. Woo! Lauren Alinsky just topped everybody at 50 tickets. Yes. All right, Venmo Darshan -Ivy. DARSHAN -IV as in Victor, IE. Yes, Venmo going in the comment section now. Lauren Alinsky, thank you so much for your 50 tickets to our 50-50 raffle. Everyone else that has participated this morning, we are so happy to have you here today. It's sunshiny and warm. It smells so delicious. Come get lunch at our next team meeting. I'm going to pass the mic over.
Hello. Let's jump off here. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I only have one particular announcement. 1, 2, 3. I'm quitting. Yeah. All right. Spring Fling, our Christmas party that was in January, got moved to this Friday at the Alamance Country Club. If you haven't RSVP'd, please do so if you're interested. It's going to be a lot of fun to have all kinds of crazy things that are going to be neat to see. We'd love to see you there. That's I need to define crazy things. Crazy things? I'm not. I want you to come see. I'm leaving it at that. Could be a good time. Could be a good time. That's all I'm saying. We'd love to see you there. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd like to hand the mic over to the ALC Education Committee, Amy Klutz. She's got an announcement. You want me to come back there? Yeah, you can come back here.
Yes. So Emily and I want to take the time to thank everyone that answered our poll that we posted and emailed about what you guys need or want in your for education purposes. We got a lot of great responses. And so following up on that, we're going to host an agent-only mastermind. It's the 29th of this month, I believe. It'll be in the training room. We'll send out more information, but We have been tasked with, from KWRI, to get real specific about what kind of classes and education you guys really want. And that's everything from newer agents to seasoned agents. They really want to hit everybody. So keep an eye out for that. Let either one of us know if you have any questions. We would love to hear from you. That's the only way that we're going to get anything done, is if we hear from you guys.
Please show up.
Passing the mic off to Miss Ariel.
Inspectors.
All right, before we get to our amazing sponsors, we don't want to say goodbye. We want to say Godspeed to your new adventures. So sweet treat today from Nothing But Cakes in celebration of your growth. And then we have another little gift from us to you that we would like to share. Not tickets. Not tickets. Thank you so much for pouring your heart and soul into the market center, the agents, the leadership team, me. And I just want to wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed our partnership.
Not going anywhere. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Well, we've got a standing ovation going. Well deserved. You are the longest standing member of our staff team, which is a testament to your dedication and commitment to KW, even on a greater scale. So we value you, we love you, and
And I
thank
love
you.
you guys. So I appreciate it. You're my family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, home inspectors, you ready for us? Let's go.
Everybody hear me without that thing? Not on Zoom? Oh, I need it for Zoom, okay. Nice to meet you finally, Ariel. So most of you guys know us. So I'm not gonna give you the big long spiel today. We'll make it a little bit shorter. In front of you, the brochures, you could see the little gray one. That's the one that covers the warranties that everybody gets with their inspection. We are the only company in this area that actually has these warranties in this service. So just something to think about for your buyers in case they move in, because Murphy's Law, anything that will go wrong does go wrong type of thing. The other brochure is an 18-month warranty. They can get an 18-month warranty for the price of 12. And then the third thing that is on some of the desks, because I didn't bring enough, is the little seller home inspection checklist, which Joe Don says he puts in every packet. Thank you there, Joe Don. But the thing about that seller checklist is inspectors actually don't want to find a lot of things. We don't want to kill deals. And those 30 things on there, whether you leave our logo or just change it out to yours, I don't care. If you'll put that in your seller packets to make everybody's job easier, we'd appreciate that. Now, as far as like marketing, what we do that's different from everybody else, and right now I'm concentrating just on what benefits you right now. Right now, everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's short-term due diligence. We got to get this thing done, yada, yada, yada. Some people are even waiving inspections. And I've actually had a contractor post, I don't know if any of y'all seen it, as a local contractor posted, everybody needs to get a home inspection because this family moved in after buying a house, did not having a home inspection done, and they were about going to have to spend about $30,000, which they did not have and had no way of getting. So I know as agents, you can only say so much to try to get somebody to do a home inspection, but that's one of those stories you may want to tell. As a multi-inspector firm, we can get you in when nobody else can. We can do evenings and weekends. We actually have one of our guys doing an evening inspection today. Paige, which is our female inspector, she actually prefers weekends and evenings, so she does a lot of the weekend and evening inspections as well. Right now, obviously with short due diligence and all that, that's very important. Scheduling made easy. You can go online and schedule, you can call us and schedule, or you can use the app to schedule, okay? I think we are the only company in the area with the app as well, so you can actually schedule, view your reports and all that. Repair requests, when you're looking at the report, you can actually fill out your repair request as you're looking at the report. Again, just something else to make your jobs easier. It also verifies the IP address to make sure your client saw it. So they can't come back later and sue you and say, well, I didn't, sign off on this repair request. Well, no, our IP tracker actually shows that they viewed the repair request and signed off on it. The final thing, we are doing walkthrough inspections. If you need an inspection quickly, but you want to maximize the due diligence that the client's going to put down so they have more chance to get it, right? But one of the biggest deciding factors on that is the house, in good shape? Is it going to fall down? We will actually come out and do a walkthrough inspection, depending on the location, 100 to 150 bucks. Meet you out there with the client while you walk through it, show them the home. That way they can maximize the due diligence and potential of actually getting the house under contract. Okay. So what happens to that fee? It actually is applicable toward the full home inspection. So it's not just lost. So just another way we're trying to help you guys. Go ahead.
Quick question. I know that you are highly regulated from your state.
Yes, ma'am.
How does the walkthrough fit your requirements?
It's a great question. So we are the only company in the area that can do it because we have one unlicensed employee that has been doing construction for years and is a contractor. So anybody else that doing it is actually going against state regulation. You're one of the first people I've had to actually knew that. So yes, if they're an actual inspector showing up to do it, not J2, my little clone that's always with me. If it's somebody else, they're going against state SOP.
Is that person still licensed as a general contractor?
Just a contractor, yes. Yeah. But because he's with us, he can do that. So again, we're just trying to make your jobs easier. We're all struggling during these times. It ain't just the agents pulling their hair out, making the 5, 10, 15 offers on a house. Believe me, as home inspectors, we're pulling our hair out too. But we've tried to do these things to combat it. We're always here if you have questions. We're probably one of the biggest promoters of KW in the area. We do offer the bold scholarships, and hopefully everybody can get back to that this year. So we're always here for you if you have any questions. Y'all know the big burly man in the back there, Ben. He's the office manager. So if y'all can't get a hold of me, you can always reach out to Ben, and we'd be glad to give you our personal info, which we just did a while ago. So thank you guys for having us. I hope you enjoy the meal, and I hope to see you many more times this year. Thanks.
Thank you so much for keeping our bellies full today. There's a direct correlation with attendance and whether food's provided or not. So we're grateful for you. All right, I'm going to pass the mic back over to Miss Emily Allred, who's going to get us started. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Productivity coaching, 50-50. Before we close our 50-50 drawing, does anybody else want in? The pot's at 240. Awesome. Pot's at 240. As it stands, if we draw, the winnings are 120. Oh, 50-50 drawing. Productivity coaching is raising money for their agents to attend and be sponsored to Mega Camp or Family Reunion, which is going to be in Anaheim next year. Family Reunion is Mega Camp's in Austin, Texas. If you are on Zoom and you would like to participate, you can comment in the comments section and Venmo. I think we'll hold off and do it at the very end before Darshan passes out. All right. You ready to get started? Let's go. Again. Great.
You got to go next. Thanks. All right, our mission statement. I'd like everybody to read it with me. Ready? To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Whoop. Anybody have a mission moment they'd like to share? Tammy?
Well, we have
Buckets. Yes, we do.
in just a minute. A mission specific. Does everybody know what a mission moment is? You like to share a mission moment?
I don't, you can go ahead.
Our member has been, as you know, fighting cancer, which is fight. Moment is just each you. Our agent Andy have really stepped up to cover her during that time, along with the rest of the leadership team. We've all pulled together and held a little bit of her tasks so that she can focus on her recovery, and we're hoping that she's going to be back
afternoon. She's planning to come in this afternoon for a little bit. So we're happy to have her back.
Be easy on her. It will be a part-time basis. And through the grace of our profitability as a company, through our OP, our finance committee, we've been able to keep her fully employed the entire time with no hit to her paycheck. So it's my mission moment.
Birthdays for March. Here we go. Lori Clayton, Anthony Hazard, Dina Annabelle, Rick Gunn, Melissa Stevens, Alinka, Lauren Foster, Julie, Lynn Snow, Latoya Wilson, Rachel Z, Maria Clapp, Tammy Corey, Isaac Gibson, Tanya Robertson, Heather Stanley, Sandra, Robbie Cavender, Darshan, Tiffany Ross, Denise Funderburk, Brian Brexton, Crystal Kelly, Mary Donnell, Chris McCann, Michael Jefferson, and Katie Brown. Happy birthday. Work anniversaries. Roger Abbott, Terry Abbott, Stephanie Allen, Roy Alley, Emily Allen, Benny B, William Bishop, Alice Boyle, Jen Dixon, Cindy Dudley, Crystal Dunn, Katie Emery, Isaac Gibson, Alex Hedden, Lisa Isley, Randy Kozlowski, Heather McAndrew, Emily Pike, and Amber Tarleton. Yes. Congratulations. Work anniversaries. Bucket fills.
I would look at Bill Jonathan. Tech that I'm not real great at, and he was very patient and extremely helpful. And I knocked on his door. I lost count. And every time it was with a smile. So thank you.
Yes, he's fantastic. We're very grateful for Jonathan. Anybody else? Bucket fills. Teresa. Hold on, I'm coming.
I like to bucket fill Kim Baber. Over the weekend, we had an issue. I didn't know where to go. I should have known, but I got her contact information and she was able to help me over the weekend, which she didn't have to do, even going through what she's going through. She's still working for us over the weekend. So thank you, Kim. Yay.
I have two bucket fills. One is for Jonathan. Thank you so much for all of your patience and kindness and skillfulness. And also the Sandy Sparks team. It's just a pleasure to do a transaction with y'all. Thank you, Daniel.
Nice. And up.
I just want to bucket fill my awesome team for a successful client event yesterday. I have the best team on the planet.
Team competition. I don't know. Hello? There we go. All right, so we had something brought to our attention after the awards banquet the other day, and that is that Daniel is no longer, or is not, a buyer's agent. And he was awarded the buyer's agent. And then he came to me and said, you know, are you trying to get buyer's agents to hate me? And I was like, no, what happened? And he's like, I'm not a buyer's agent. So out of that comes a new order of who was the lead buyer's agent. And I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. Number 3 is Josh Atkins from the Sandy Bars team. He's doing a great job in his new career. We're happy to have him. Second place was Kathy Pinter of the Wooten Home team. We're super happy for her. And number 1 is Christy Donaldson of the A team, who truly deserves it. She works very hard. So congratulations to all 3 of you. And we apologize for any sore feelings. Don't hate Daniel because he won't love me anymore. So this is true. This is very true. I'm gonna pass it off.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for bearing with us as we worked through some brief technical difficulties. Did we have any other bucket fills or did we get everybody, I believe? All right. Good deal. Yep. Congratulations to our $1 Million Clubs. We've got Sherry Clayton up in the Roxborough area, Tammy Corey, Randy Kozlowski, Natalie Maroney, and Gary Reniger. We've got Team and Group, $1 Million Club, Ashley and Rob Williams. Hazar Home Team, Melissa White Team, the A Team, the Alex and Victoria Home Team, and the Wooten Home Team. Congratulations. Team Group, $2 Million Club, Sandy Sparksdale's team in the house, and the Judy Weinstock team. Congratulations. Our numbers, market center numbers, are not as ideal as we would like them, right? And yet one of the things that we've discovered with our new market center administrator interim, Russ Alvis over here, is that this is actually the second best February that we've got recorded in many ways. That being said, we're down slightly in units. I think many of you all are feeling that pinch right now. Closed volume down slightly also. Listings taken down. Listings taken volume is up. Listings sold volume is down. Along with listings sold, contracts written volume down slightly, contracts written volume, and closed GCI. Now, one of the things that Gary has said over the course of COVID is that this year would likely be a lot more similar to 2019. So when you're looking at your numbers and your seasonality expectations and projecting for the rest of the year, you may want to take a look back at those numbers. 2020, 2021 were not typical years. And we're seeing that this year is holding more closely to what we've seen historically in the past. Family reunion was amazing for those of you that attended in person. We have been missing that. Almost 12,000 in-person attendees, 7,582 virtual. Keller Classic participants, 100 plus. That's the golf tournament for charitable cause, and charitable donations collectively over $50,000, which is pretty impactful. Your downloads can now be found on your virtual platform. If you attended in person, you also have the virtual platform. You can relive all of the family reunion moments, catch the ones that you missed. Tons of good information there, and you'll have access until April 25th. Yes. That's a really great question. Well, Kathy is asking in the chat, why is 2022 similar to 2019? And I think if you remember back when COVID first started, there was a brief pause and everybody thought that people were not going to buy and the market was going to close down and that we were going to take a big hit. And we ended up not doing that. I mean, those of you that have been in the grind have been working extremely hard all the way through that time and through the winter months. And what Gary's predicted is that that's going to settle out a little bit into more traditional cycles. All right, is this a video? Okay, all right. This is just a brief recap of some of the amazing speakers that were present. There were some really heartfelt conversations, amazing takeaways. We've got some segments, really great segments coming out. Segments are going to be like luxury, commercial, military, specialty groups, new construction. Tammy, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. For those of us who either didn't attend in person or virtual, can you give a very quick summary of Gary's opinion on the 2022 market, what he thinks it will do?
I don't know that I can do a quick summary because it was a 2-hour session. And yeah, Robbie says, and I believe the vision speech is posted on KW Connect. So you can go back and watch it and
That's where he talks about it.
yes, yeah, and I've got the slide deck for that as well. So we can get that out in the team meeting notes too. The slide deck, remind me of that. Cindy's online somewhere. Thanks, Cindy. Love you. She's my virtual assistant. Oh, Paulinier didn't hear the question. The question was to give a quick recap of Gary's vision speech and what his predictions are for 2022 and moving forward. And it was just a long, very in-depth, very, very data-driven speech. So Good question. All right, got a quick video for you.
You guys ready? Let's go.
All right, hope to see you there. Yes. That's okay. I do it every time. So Mega Camp in the past, in my experience, Mega Camp has been much more technical. So different breakout sessions based on different things, whereas Family Reunion is much more of a gathering time overview of market information. And it's my understanding that Mega Camp is focused this year on mega agents. And or those that are working to get there. So we'll have information out as soon as I get it on that for you. It's going to be held in August, I believe the thing said. Yes, 23rd and 24th. Thank you. And that's in Austin, Texas. Mega Camp's always in Austin. Family Reunion is the one that rotates to different locations. There we go. Early bird tickets on sale. All right, we've got several different certification programs. This is an Agents of Distinction that is available to you now. There's also new construction certification, just tons and tons of educational resources coming out that are current. So we've got so much information on KW Connect, it's hard to sift through sometimes. So this is really these team meetings and the things that come out from Jonathan and from the tech side are much more current. Stay on top of those. Shift with James Shaw. Is anybody attending this right now?
I am. Ethiel.
Ethiel?
Oh.
Yeah, go
No.
for it. Speak.
No, I'm going to the pivot in person that James Shaw does, but so James Shaw, I start my morning at 6:30 in the morning with a early birds talking real estate. And then I start the shift call with James Shaw at 7:30 in the morning. So if you're not listening to that, I encourage you. And James does a great job of getting you engaged.
What do you feel that's done for your mindset and your business, Ethiel?
Consistency. I mean, that's the thing and the 6:30 a.m. call, it's great to be up and ready for the day. However, honestly, sometimes I'm just laying in the bed listening to it. And it's done at 7. So I get ready for the day from 7 to 7:30 and I start my call, and you're in a virtual room with people who are $1 million MREAs. They're netting $1 million. And it's a great way to get in the mindset of production and what can I do to improve my business. And it's not always about business. Sometimes it's about yourself. And even in my recent experiences with some healthcare challenges for my sweetheart, I still make him listen to the calls with me. So he's now given me advice and he has started to hold me accountable for things I said.
I love that. Yes, big thinkers involved. I've heard wonderful, wonderful feedback about James Shaw. If you've ever attended any of his trainings, this is a specific shift training. So it'll be held 9th and 10th of. It'll be held again in the future, and I will get those dates to you as soon as I have them. But just wonderful things that I've heard about James, and like Ethiel mentioned, his calls in the morning occur daily.
Ended that shift workshop. It was last week. And
yes,
if you will, the Pivot Shift Ahead page, you can attend that entire series. It is
awesome. Thank you so much for that, Ethiel. So the Pivot Shift Ahead page on Facebook, I believe, is what she's referring to.
Gary Keller was a guest on the second day.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much, Ethiel. All right, Keller Mortgage is always a resource. Through April 23rd, your clients can enjoy reduced interest rates, as mentioned on here, fast processing. And this is not necessarily for mortgage loans. So if they're looking to refinance, multiple products apply. Case scoring, KW Prep, there's a toolkit now on KW Connect, and resources are added almost daily at this point. Don't forget that we have a partnership with the Kaplan School of Real Estate for free real estate school. We've got 114 people enrolled at this point. I believe we've had 5 that have passed the exam and are working on passing the state and national exams. So far it's been lots of passes on the national, not so many passes on the state, if anybody can identify. There are some new resources available in tech. You can see here that your name and information is now going to be added as the contact in the contact area of your listing. So you're listing your lead. Good stuff. And just a reminder and a little preemptive come to bold. It's going to come back in June this year. We are going to be hosting in this area. Don't have a location or the exact details yet, but we're super excited. We do offer payment options if you want to start preparing for that. $799 is the cost, and it can change your life if you let it. There's stories after stories that I can tell you, as well as the folks in this room. And then you've got the opportunity to earn back reimbursement of up to $100 on each check. That can occur after Bold is completed as well. That's on an honor system. So if you have generated that business and that lead because of your attendance in Bold, all we need you to do is put a comment in your command that it was on account of Bold. We look forward to being able to do that for you. You can all read this in your email follow-up. Don't call people that don't want to be called. All right, and now all of you I know have been waiting for our guest speaker. April, are you on with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I sure can. So I had the good fortune of attending Train the Presenter with April, and she had such a cool story that I wanted to bring back to you all. I want to start just by asking you, what's something that we wouldn't know about you if we reviewed your social media, your resume? What's something that we wouldn't know?
Oh, dang. Okay.
Put you on the spot there.
I know, that's crazy. I never went to the 6th grade.
You never went to the 6th grade? Tell us about that.
No, it sounds like I'm super smart and that I skipped a grade, but that's not actually what it was. I went to a private school, an elementary private school, and transferred to a separate private school where they didn't place you by age. They just tested you and put you in a grade. So they put me in the 7th grade. And then the next year I went to public school, and they wouldn't let me go into the 8th grade because I wasn't the right age. So they made me take 7th grade again. So I had 7th grade twice, and I never went to the 6th grade. So anytime anybody asks me something and I don't know the answer, I just say, well, they must have taught that in the 6th grade because I didn't go.
I love your ability to turn that into a positive. Thank you so much for sharing with us. The coolest thing that I thought about April is that she, through her business, was able to build 10 houses in Guatemala. So I'm not going to spoil the whole story. I'll let you get started with your presentation. And we look forward to hearing from you today.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to take a second and mess with share screen real quick, and y'all let me know when you can see my slides. Can you guys see it okay?
It's coming. All right, there we go. We got you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I know Ariel's kind of already introduced me, but I'm April Kibbe. I am with Keller Williams Drive in Greenville, South Carolina. I am the productivity coach in our market center. And I'm also still in production myself. and I used to be a buyer's agent on a team. So shout out to all my buyer's agents. I know how hard you guys work, and I always have a place in my heart for you. So that's a lot of what I'm going to share with you guys today is the experience that I had on the team that I just left just to become the productivity coach, and was able to do a lot of my success through them. So I'll just tell you a little bit about me. My big why and why I do what I do is to help people get from wherever they are to wherever they need to be. So that goes for my real estate business and my coaching business, and dig really deep into where people are in their lives and their personality and their goals, and then just be a bridge or create an avenue for them to get to wherever they're going. My first year in real estate, I sold 6 houses right away on my own using clickbait targeting. And if you don't know what that is, I'm talking about Facebook leads or anything where you would click on a link online and then that would take you to a conversation with me where I would convert you into a client. So had some pretty good success with that right off the bat. And then I joined the team that I just recently left, and they like rock out 36 touch. And I couldn't say that at such a high level. They have a stellar 36 touch program. So I was able to learn and implement things that they were doing on their team, and was able to have great success with that as well. And then also started to develop my own post-close touch system while I was on that team, which I basically got on autopilot now. Myself and a runner, we kind of run that. So because of all of that work and the success that I had in my first year, my second year in real estate, I actually ended up doing 85% referral based business, and sold 7 million in volume. So that was a huge win for me. It was more of a long-term lead source, playing the long game a little bit with some of these. But it was a huge success for me. And
that's a pretty big deal, April, too. When I believe the National Association of Realtors says that something crazy like 80% of people would use their agent over again, but they don't
only
because they
3%
don't
do.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today is staying top of mind, and really being that go-to real estate agent. But how do we do that, right? And then here's a story that I think Ariel was leading you guys up to. I'm very passionate about giving back, and wanted to do something really big for someone somewhere. So I said a little prayer one day and I just said, God, I don't know what you have in store for me, but I'm just going to go to the office today. I'm going to say, yes, if you'll just present me with an opportunity. Wasn't really able to find something on my own that really kind of hit the mark for my heart. So I just said, whatever you send my way, I'm just going to go ahead and say yes to. And I went to work that very same day and ran into another real estate agent in my office. I don't know if you know her. Her name's Jennifer Hubbell. She is one of the highest producing agents in our region. If you went to family reunion, you would have watched her get an award for all that she does. She has a similar heart to me. And she walked up to me and said, April, I just have to tell you something. I just have to share something with you. I made a goal. This is Jennifer. She said, I made a goal a decade ago with my husband. And we said that we wanted to help people build houses. And my mind was blown. I was like, that's crazy. Why? How are you going to do that? Right. And she said, but I have to tell you, I've had this goal for a decade or more. And I finally figured out how to do it. And I spent $30,000 last year, or no, I think it was 3,000 that she said that she spent. And I built 10 houses. And I said, what? What are you talking about? And she said, there's a company out there called Good Justice. And for $300, which in our line of work is a very small amount of money because we make crazy good money, right? But for $300, you can build someone a house in Honduras, and it has a roof and walls and a foundation. For $25 more, you can give them running water. And so you're taking somebody who's sleeping in the dirt, who's never had a sip of clean water in their life, and you're giving them a home. and clean water, and you're changing their lives, and you're changing generations of lives and their family that come after them. And through that, the company also provides school for the kids. So not only are you changing their health and their welfare, but you're also giving them education. And this company does all of that. So I said, okay, that's my yes for today. And turns out I was able to present with her at a sales meeting that we had similar to this, and we got some of our agents on board, and a lot of our agents in our office are building houses in Honduras. And me personally, with every single closing that I have, I send them $300. So every time I sell a house, we build a house in Honduras. And last year I was able to build 10 houses. And I share the win with my clients. The company sends you a photo of the family that you built a house for in front of their new house. And I just send that to my client. It's a touch. It's a reason to follow up, but it's a huge reason why I do what I do. So
April,
yeah,
that's awesome. And I have to apologize. I said Guatemala, and it is in fact Honduras.
Honduras. No,
Are
it's
you
okay.
going to go visit one day?
Yes, they do have mission trips, and I think they do 5 a year. And so what we're doing actually in our market center is working on getting our own group together. If you have at least 7 people, you can go with any group that you want. So you can go, and you're volunteering when you go there. So you're experiencing everything that they experience. And I think what you're actually doing as an activity while you're there is you're actually installing the water filtration systems. So pretty cool. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Cool. So you want me to talk about 36 touch and all that, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Okay, so just take a second and everybody just think about these 4 questions, jot them down and think about them later. When I asked myself these questions, it really kind of motivated me to set in place in my business what I needed to be successful in this area. So who are you communicating with? What are you communicating to them or with them? How are you communicating them? So what's your communication outlet? Would that be social media, phone calls, events, or whatever that looks like? And then where does that take you? What is that? How does that help your client? And then also, how does that help you or other agents in your office? So when we take those thoughts, and then I like to share this quote as well. No, I do not know who said this, but it did impact
You must have taught
me.
that in 6th grade.
Yep, they taught this in 6th grade, but someone passed me a note in 7th grade. But this was a huge impact for me. I think I might have read it somewhere on a bathroom stall or something. No, I'm kidding. Without boldly sharing what you do and how you can help people in a world with so much noise, how will the people that need you know you can help them? So for me, even though I'm a high I on the DISC and a 3 on the Enneagram, very driven, I still have this piece of me that's not so confident, right? Or some hesitation when it comes to sharing about my life on Facebook or really taking the bold step that you need to take in order to talk to somebody in the grocery store or just, I don't know, do the activities that you have to do every day, right? So I turn that around in my head and I say, there's people out there that need me. And they need to know that I'm here to help them. So me boldly sharing what I do and how I do it well really puts me out there so that they know what service I provide and how I can help them and their needs. So flipping it on its head like that's really helpful for me. It makes me feel more genuine. It makes me feel warmer about sharing what I do and not so salesy. Although being a salesman's good, but all that. So I'm going to encourage you guys to think about your one goal in real estate. We went to, we had Gene Rivers come and teach. I almost said Profit Camp, and that's not right because we just had that last week. It was a Quantum Leap, and he said this, and it stuck with me hardcore. You have one goal in real estate. That is to get referrals. If you treat your clients like they are a referral partner, throughout the transaction or while you're converting them and while you're communicating with them, then you'll treat them differently. You'll give a high level of customer service because you're not only getting through that transaction or helping them with this one goal, but you're reaching more people at a higher level and you're able to help more people overall, right? So if you consider your one goal in real estate is to get referrals in every little conversation you have, even if that client doesn't turn into a conversion, maybe they know someone that needs you. It just kind of changes your frame of mind. That was a huge impact, that one little thing that Jean Rivers said to me that day. So how do we do this? And MREA teaches us this well. We create clients for life. And we can do this through gifts of value and staying top of mind. That's the big thing. Just staying top of mind so that when they meet a real estate agent, you are the person that they think of. And when I say gifts of value, I'm not necessarily talking about monetary gifts, but how are you providing value and how are you giving gifts through your words or through your actions throughout the whole process and stuff like that. So, sorry, I'm clicking away here. Okay, so gifts of value. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear you. Maybe the people on Zoom can chime up because I know I'm going to be able to hear you a little bit better. But can you guys think of any gifts, like closing gifts or gifts of value that you've used in the past, or just throw out some examples of gifts of value? Maybe you can let me know what people are saying in the room, Ariel.
Yep, absolutely. Gifts of value. Anybody doing anything fun right now? Lauren, pop in there.
So one of the things that I have enjoyed doing, and I've done several different things, and I know we have like a $50 limit, but I don't really go by that limit. One client, they have worked so hard at coming up with the money for their new construction home. I'm actually gifting them closing funds. Another client,
Wow.
I create huge baskets. So she had an 8-month-old son. So I created her one for her home and one for her son's bedroom with different decor items. And then other things I've done is home warranties. I have paid for servicing for HVAC systems for a client whose HVAC died like a week after she bought the property. And so I've been able to really sew and tie them to my clients. And, you know, I really try to make it personal for them, not just the generic. Like I pay attention to who they are and what they might want and like.
Awesome. Was that Lauren?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, Lauren. So I love what you said about tying it to the client. That's one of the things you'll see on the screen in a minute that I really try to dig into. Really paying attention to who your client is and what they would appreciate getting, instead of just having a generic, everybody gets the same closing gift. I've done this before. You know, you have some clients, you have drinkers or not drinkers. You have certain clients who love wine. I was in a showing with a client and there was a whiskey bottle sitting on the desk in the house. And he eyed the whiskey bottle, asked me if it came with the house. And I told him, no, well, we could write it as a contract, right? But I'm not so sure. So ended up giving him that exact type of whiskey as a closing gift, that kind of thing. So yes, Lauren, I love that, tying it to the client. You think a lot like my the other buyer's agent that was on my team. She gave the home warranty with every single sale, and she did a lot of sales. She gave a lot of those out. And you're right, that's a hefty price tag right there. I don't know what it's like in your market, but you're not the only one. That's great. Do we have any other ideas?
We had Deanna. What did you say? I heard you over there say something. Gift of value. You didn't earlier. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's Ethiel again.
Ethiel.
For me, my background is in emergency services as a paramedic. And a lot of my business comes from people who work in emergency services. And peer support, for every business that produces a transaction, I donate $100 to Alamance County Peer Support, which helps with mental health after stressful calls. And I help them to get their 501c3 designation so that folks can donate to them, and it's a tax deduction for them. So that's how I give back.
Super cool. So it's a tax deduction for your client.
Yes. And
Cool.
I also $100 from my proceeds.
That's awesome. I love that. So yeah, something similar that we do on our team is we give to a local charity in the name of the client. And we do that obviously with the houses, the Honduras houses as well. And that's not only a gift of value, but just a value add for your own life and for their life. Just that's major. I love that. So a couple of, thank you for sharing, Ethiel. A couple of small things you can do is write a thank you note. I know that might sound, simple and obvious, but when you write out a thank you note to somebody, it really, really does go a long way these days, especially if you're handwriting it. I will have my assistant hand me, and we have our post-close touch system. And so throughout the post-close touch or throughout the transaction, rather, we are prepping for the post-close system. So she has a task set in her task management that when we reach a certain milestone, and I couldn't even tell you what the milestone was. We sat down and whiteboarded this whole thing. But so when we say we get through repairs, once the repairs is set, negotiations are done, she just hands me a handful of notes that I need to write out that week or that day. She tells me who they're for, and I write out the note, and then she puts them in my closing notebook to take with me at closing. So it's just about being consistent and having a plan. And then also it helps if you have that leverage piece, of course. But just doing those little things and giving them a small gift at closing. In addition to that thank you note that I write to them to give them at the closing table, we also write several notes that day. One is for them to get 2 weeks after we close, and then a month after that. And so they're automatically going to get notes from me. And all I had to do was sit down for 2 minutes one day and write them 3 thank you cards, handed them to my assistant, and then she mails them at the appropriate times. And so it's a personal touch for me. And then when you have a system around it, it really doesn't take you a whole lot of time. So we've already gone over some closing gift ideas, some things that have worked for me in the past. Obviously, you're going to see customized ideas on there, which we've already touched on. I've had a lot of success with move-in baskets, especially with my bachelor people or my single moms. They don't have a whole lot of support. We put a basket on the kitchen after the final walkthrough on the kitchen counter. And it has things like anything that they might need the day that they move in that they wouldn't have handy. So y'all don't make fun of these ideas, but it's toilet paper, hand soap, dish soap, a little thing to wash dishes with, a hand towel, and we'll get creative with the hand towel and make it a Greenville hand towel or a branded hand towel, something like that. And then maybe a little bit more value gift card for them to order pizza, because they need to go to the bathroom, they need to wash their hands, and they need to eat that day. And a couple of bottles of Smart Water, and then maybe a gift card to Home Depot or something like that. So when they walk in the house and they're moving and they're stressed out, they might walk into the house and see this basket and have some supplies that they need that they might not have thought of. And then gift cards are great. And then, like I already told you the story about the wine or the whiskey. So providing your clients with a gift, super valuable. And then now we'll move on to staying top of mind. I always say it's really, really important to nurture your business relationships. I always at the closing table give my fellow agent a card. And y'all know what I'm going to say. I just have my assistant hand it to me throughout the transaction. And I write, "Hey, Jim, it was great working with you on this transaction." I say something specific to the transaction so he knows it's not a generic card. And then put a gift card for coffee in the envelope and say at the end, let's have coffee sometime. But I'm giving him a gift card, item of value, and then also saying, hey, let's keep this relationship going. And here's a gift card as well. And then obviously we can use smart plans or task management in our database or in command to follow up, to remind you to follow up and do all of these things, or if you have a great admin to help keep up with those things as well. And then having a stellar 36 touch campaign. What is a 36 touch? Y'all throw some stuff out. How much do you guys know about it?
36 touches, I heard from the crowd. Where does it come from?
What is it?
MREA. Yeah, thank you, Amy. Command. What is it? What might it look like? Calls, emails, pop buys, birthday cards, anniversaries.
Yeah. Yeah, so what is a 36 touch? It's a plan. We all know the bold law. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So what you're going to do is you're going to whiteboard it, write it out, a plan for 36 times throughout the calendar year that you're going to touch on your database. 12 of these can be knocked out super quick and easy with a newsletter. And then what we do is have 4 in-person events. So we have quarterly events, and that could look like us having a taco truck in front of our brokerage. We actually, as a team, rented out a taco place, a restaurant. It's not as expensive as you would think, but you rent out a restaurant for 2 hours and you have all of your clients come in and we had to do food to go because it was COVID. Pumpkin patch every year, they get to come and we have a live music, and they get to come get a pumpkin, take it home. We have barbecue for them to eat. And then baseball game, we pay for our clients to go to a Greenville Drive baseball game. There's tons of them. I can't even think of them all off the top of my head, but you're inviting your clients to client appreciation events 4 times a year. And then one of the things that our brokerage does, hint, hint, Ariel, is they coordinate a event for the entire brokerage. So the clients, especially if you're an individual agent, you're kind of doing this all on your own, you can pay $30 a pop, $20, whatever it is, cost per person, so that you can invite so many of your own clients. And it's organized by the brokerage. I think that was the baseball game that they did. And then in addition to events and the newsletters, we of course we do care calls. I like DTD2. If you don't know what that is, I'll let Ariel fill you in.
Go to Bold.
Yep, go to Bold.
If you don't know what that is, go to Bold.
If you don't know what DTD2 is, go to Bold. Great answer. Yeah, there's a whole world of possibilities out there. We do sold by signs. Here's my list of successes. So we all know that signs work, right? Because we put them in the yard, even though we don't need to in this market. You know, a house goes in the MLS and basically that's all you need to do. But we still put our sign out because it's awareness and it brings us business, right? So when we have a client who purchased a house, we put a sold by the team, and you put your team name or your brokerage in the yard for the first 30 days that they live there. So the whole neighborhood gets to see what brokerage or what agent helped them buy the house. And then it's also an excuse to follow up with the client. So we say at the closing, hey, would you mind if we put a sold by sign in your front yard for a month? Of course, they loved us. They loved working with us. So they're going to say yes. So we say, okay, great. Caroline or whoever your assistant is will be by next week. And when we put the sign in their yard, we leave a gift on the front porch. And it's usually, that's a small gift, like a candle or, something little. If we didn't have a chance to give them their care basket, we would give it to them then. And then when we go pick up the sign, it's another touch. So we leave like a keychain or whatever kind of gift. We just leave them little bitty gifts on the front porch when we drop off the sign and when we pick up the sign. And then also it gives awareness throughout the neighborhood. For birthdays, this is a great one. I love this. So we have a cupcake company or a bakery in our area that will do redeemable coupons. So instead of sending everybody in your database on their birthday a $5 Starbucks card or a $5 Target card or a gift card that they may or may not redeem. This company does redeemable coupons. So you're not paying any money up front. You're only paying for it if they go redeem it. And then that company keeps a running track of people who redeem their gift cards. And then once a month, we pay our bill. Does that make sense?
So good. Yes.
Yeah. So we're not spending thousands of dollars on birthday gift cards. We're only spending probably $30 a month because not everybody's redeeming them, but we still get credit for the touch, right? Because they still got the birthday gift, and we are staying, our goal here is to stay top of mind. And then of course we send them a card on their home anniversary. So it's 1 year anniversary from when they purchased their home. We also give incentives for referrals. So if you send our team a referral, we send you crumble cookies. Do you guys have crumble cookies?
We do. We've got one getting ready to open up in Burlington too.
So good. So good. People will do anything for those free crumble cookies. We send them, if we see on Facebook that someone is sick or just had a baby or is celebrating a graduation or a big life event, we'll send them crumble cookies or something like that. And so those are all of our incentives that we do. And then of course we talked about the events, and just remember with events that even the invitation is attached. So if you plan an event, and you send out, a boom boom video or whatever you're doing to market this, they get their email, you're going to call them, text them. There's lots of great mass text apps out there. Scheduled is a great one. And I'll share really quickly. This was not my plan, but what I love about Scheduled is that it sends it directly from your phone and it goes into your text message thread with that person. But you can schedule it ahead of time. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, I met with one of my investor clients. We were having our every other month lunch that we just do. And the wife told me she was starting a new job. She said, so she was going to start on February 14th. And this was a couple of weeks prior to that. She was like, yeah, I'm starting a new job. I'm really excited. I start on February 14th. Well, after that meeting, I went into my phone and I scheduled a text message to go out to her for February 13th that just said, hey, I hope you have a great first day at work tomorrow. And I didn't have to remember to text it. And it was sitting there on my phone and it went out to her and it looked like I just sent her that text message. And it looked like I remembered that she was starting work 2 weeks later, even though I didn't. So we also use that app to schedule text messages for our events. Scheduled.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a question. What app was it?
So there's two versions of this app. One's blue and one's red, and you have to pay for one of them. Pay it. Just pay it, because the non-scheduled one or the non-paid one, it doesn't send the text automatically. It pings you a reminder to send it, and you're going to get overwhelmed. Just pay the $5 and have the text messages go out automatically. And so if you've got an event coming up, you want to text everybody coming to your event. You want to touch them at least 3 or 4 different ways. You want to send them a video. You want to send them an email, send them a text message or call. And so for the call, here's another little trick. I can't remember the name of this app off the top of my mind. Ariel, I'll text it to you and you can share it with your team. But it sends a voicemail. So
Slide dial or slide broadcast.
Yes. Yes. So we use slide broadcast and we just send the voicemail out, and it looks like they got a phone call and missed it, but then they have a voicemail. And I just say, hey, it's me, April, just calling to make sure you got the invitation to Pumpkin Patch coming up next week. You don't have to call me back. Make sure you say that, because then they're going to call you and you're going to have 500 phone calls to answer. You don't have to call me back unless you didn't get your, unless you didn't get your invitation, and then I'll get one out to you. That is a touch. Even if they don't come to the event, you have just touched on that person 4 times in that month. Does all that make sense?
Yes, good stuff. April, we've got a couple other questions, and I know we've got some folks that are running short on time and need to move on. Tammy, what was your question?
Is this available somewhere?
We would love for her to come up and teach us. Hint, hint, April.
Yes, I would love. I'm about 3.5 hours away, so I'll have to come up and
My
stay the
career
night.
development committee is like, yeah, we would, April. So get ready to hear from them.
Okay, awesome.
And then
Yes.
I know I can hear the other question turning. Would you be willing to share your 36 touch plan or have your administrative member share with us? We would love to see it.
Can I just email that to you?
You're amazing. And if there's one thing
about?
you could leave us with today that they could do immediately in their businesses, what would that be?
Right now, I hope it's not too late. Everybody in your whole database, email everybody that you sold a house to last year, tell them their closing statement so that they can use it for their taxes.
Ah, so good. Who's doing that already? Anybody? We've got maybe a third of the room that's doing it. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. I think the one thing that I hear overall is that many of us are high drivers and we like to bulldoze through transactions and clients. And sometimes our greatest strength is our greatest weakness. What I'm really hearing from you is just to slow down and listen and think about what might be most impactful.
Yes. And yeah. And so if I have time, I'll just expand on that just a little bit.
Yeah,
Ariel.
please do.
Never leverage out the relationship part of your business. So figure out how to make everything so easy and automatic. But when it comes to the relationship piece of everything, like we like to say, oh yeah, we have these 36 touch plans in Command. Well, those are wonderful as reminders to go do the work, but don't think that that computer is going to execute that 36 touch for you. Make sure that the relationship part and the intimate part that makes you and makes your 36 touch program you is actually you doing it. And then figure out how to make everything faster and quicker on the flip side of that, so that making a phone call is easy and all you're doing all day is writing out cards and making phone calls, and then everything else is automatic. But don't make the phone calls and the writing of the cards the automatic piece, because that's the part that really matters. Does that make sense?
I love that. Do we have any other questions for April before we close up? Thank you so much. Let me get in front of my camera. Where am I? Thank you so much for being here with us today. Oh,
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah.
And I look forward to maybe hosting you up here in the Market Center. I know it's a good little drive for you, so we will make it worth your time.
That's awesome.
It's been a lot of very valuable information, and we're grateful for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything I can do, I would love that.
Thank you so much. April Kibbe, everybody.
Bye.
Go sell something. Go talk to your people. Go relation. Oh, and our 55th. That's why we kept them. That's why we kept you guys around. All right. Okay, still live. 50-50 drawing going now. What is it? 123. 123. $123 is half, which is going to go to our winner. 642-160. 642-160. Woo woo! We got the Glidewells. Beth and Pete as our winner. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, thank you. Beth and Pete are going to give the money to our Sunshine Fund. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome turnout today, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, I did. Yes, Beth and Pete, proceeds going to the Sunshine Fund. Thank you, everybody, for attending today.